In H-Town, we want news that speaks truth, just like we do.
ADNC keeps me informed and him inspired.
We've been through too much to trust mainstream media. This feels like us.
From the D to the diaspora, ADNC is how I stay woke. We binge ADNC like it's Netflix, but smarter.
They speak on us, but never for us. ADNC does.
No fluff, no filters, just the truth, daily.
From Wall Street to 125th, we're watching our news.
Download the African Diaspora News Channel app today to stay connected to the culture.
Well, hello, ADNC family. I hope all is well with you. It is Monday. It's the start of the week, and here we go into another week. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I hope you did. And we're just going to get started. It's Monday, as I said, and there's no need to basically have the Monday blahs. We shouldn't have the Monday blahs. We have to make every day the best, right? We wake up, we choose our attitude, and I've decided that we're not going to make Mondays the bad day. You know how people say, oh, it's Monday. Let's not do that. Let's just enjoy the time, okay? Enjoy the week, enjoy everything. That's what we should all have, is enjoyment. Choose our attitude, and it's a good attitude. Hey, Teresa, thanks so much for tuning in. Hey, Buckhorse, thank you so much for tuning in from DC. So today we're going to talk about immigration, and we're going to talk about ICE. We've got a sister who is from Toronto who was living in the United States, and she allowed her green card to expire. And guess what? She ended up getting snatched by ICE. So let's just watch her story, and then we'll talk about this and talk about, why we just have to do things the right way.
Is humiliating, and she hides it. But it is the one thing that keeps Canadian Michelle Crichlow out of ICE detention.
So this is the ankle monitor here. It's already very clunky, a little uncomfortable.
For 10 months now, forced to wear it at all times, check in with immigration, and forbidden to travel to visit family in Canada. Her crime? An invalidated green card. She didn't take the legal steps to update it after her divorce in 2022.
I'm not a criminal. I'm a mom.
Now she faces deportation and the very real fear of losing her American-born daughter, Quinn.
This has been heartbreaking. This has really challenged my faith and changed the way that I view America.
When U.S. President Donald Trump vowed to go after the worst of the worst,
they're apprehending murderers and drug dealers.
Crichlow never imagined they'd be coming for her. Last July, she was red flagged at the airport, detained for 11 hours in secondary, and put in a cell before being arrested by ICE, handcuffed and transported to a Virginia ICE detention center.
Everyone there spoke Spanish. I saw a boy who was probably about 12 years old, and they, kept assuring me that I wasn't staying there, but I was looking around and I just saw that I knew that those people weren't leaving.
Now she faces a costly legal fight simply to stay in the U.S. with her American daughter.
My daughter is my entire life. I have fought tooth and nail for my child, and I'm not giving up. I can't give up.
Family back home feel helpless.
I can't understand why they criminalize just for something as simple as a green card running out.
We have a hard time wrapping our heads around it. The punishment doesn't match. There was no crime.
But it is the new reality in America. Joy Melvin, CTV.
All right. So, as you heard, this sister's green card expired. And for 10 months, she's been walking around with that ankle bracelet. And what this is called, what she's experiencing, because as you can hear, she was locked up in detention for a little while. And now she's, as I said, she's wearing an ankle bracelet. So what she's experiencing is called ATD, alternative to detention. And basically what that means is you're on the bubble to get removed from this country, but we're not going to have you detained, but we're going to keep an eye on you. We're going to be monitoring you. And as you can hear, she's got to check in with immigration and she's got to wear that ankle monitor. I mean, she may as well just be in detention, right? She may as well just be in ICE. But here's the thing. ICE is no joke. It's no joke. And you as a Canadian, and from what I understand, and basically what that the news is saying is that she was married, I think, to an American and has an American-born baby that she feels like is going to, she may lose. But she has some options. She can either move back to Canada with her baby, okay? Or, as she said, she's going to keep fighting. But here's what I understand the process is now, okay? So this is like, let's just talk about what likely happened to her. So she has an expired green card and she was flagged in the system when she was trying to travel. And then the system contacted airport, police, etc. And then the suspicion then caused her to be flagged, and then she was apprehended, right? And then she was detained, as we see, and her status was reviewed, and then ICE decided whether to hold her long term or release her under strict conditions. So that is where she falls into the ATD, alternative to detention. And so they said, we're going to let you go, but we're keeping an eye on it. Now, the fact that she has an ankle monitor and all that stuff, that just means that she's removable. That's where she's at now. It means that she no longer qualifies as a permanent resident, or she violated the immigration rules. Okay, there are rules, and then when you have your president in the United States that's like, I'm getting rid of everybody that's here illegal, man, woman, or child, you're all going. She falls under that. She's actually lucky that she didn't end up having to stay in detention, okay, where a lot of people are right now. She's really lucky, but that doesn't mean that her situation is any better, right? So the whole idea of being released with an ankle monitor basically is that she's tracked like GPS 24/7. Sometimes she may have a curfew. Mandatory check-ins, as you heard, she's got to go check in with immigration, and she can't disappear. Like, she can't just not show up. She can't just not pull up. She can't just not call, not, answer the door. Like, she has no option. She literally is stuck. And now she's in deportation proceedings. Okay. So this is the part where people need to understand when you're in that situation where you're like, stuck at home with an ankle monitor. She's issued a notice to appear, an NTA as they call it. She's waiting for immigration court, definitely. And then the court will decide, when she does finally get a court date, whether she gets to stay in the United States or be deported to Canada. Again, the fact that she has to wear an ankle monitor and all that stuff means that she is more than likely going to be deported back to Canada. All right. And she's saying that they're saying, and she's saying that it's a costly process for sure, because she's probably going to have to get an immigration lawyer, and they're not cheap. Okay. They're not cheap. Why is an ankle monitor considered to be serious? Because it is considered to be serious. So the reason why is because ICE sees you as a real removal case. All right. They don't just want to pay to detain you long term, right? Because those ankle monitors cost money, okay? So house arrest, immigration edition. That's what this basically is. All right. And I'm not laughing because this is a laughing matter. It's not. But people need to understand the way that America is moving as it relates to immigration and illegal immigration. They're taking it seriously. How many situations have we seen on TV with ICE and the way that they're moving out there? So you can't be out there and just going along your merry way in life with an expired green card. Like, why not go through the process of renewing it? I don't understand. So a lot of people are saying, I don't feel sorry for you, sis. You are considered to be an immigrant. So you got to follow the processes. And as you can hear from her family, they have West Indian accents. So, she's definitely not American, right? Probably raised in Canada, maybe even born in the Caribbean and raised in Canada. So now let's talk about the situation with her child. So she has a US born child. So her child is considered to be a US citizen, but that doesn't automatically protect her, right? We already know this. So she can still get deported by ICE. And whether she fights the case, which is what she said she's going to do, she can still deport her. They can still deport her regardless. Whether she has legal grounds, family, hardship, whatever. Worst case, she gets deported, child stays in US with another guardian. Best case, she wins and she's able to stay. But it's not looking promising for her because I can't see how she's wearing an ankle bracelet. She goes through all the process. They're like, okay, we'll take the ankle bracelet off and you can stay. No, sis. It's not looking good for her. It's really not. So this is really not a case of, oops, I forgot to renew my card. Doesn't work that way. It just doesn't. I mean, in Canada now, which I'll be talking about later this week, they have this new bill that's allowing for you to be able to become a Canadian citizen depending on your ancestry, depending on how deep your lineage goes, that you can apply to see if your ancestry, qualifies you to be a Canadian citizen. They don't have that in the United States. Okay. So the US government is actively deciding whether or not she can stay or go. So this is the situation she's in. And this is one of those situations where you, as somebody that's not from America, you really cannot move that way. You can't. You got to get your paperwork in order. ICE is just pulling up and they're just banging down doors and kicking down doors and going to all kinds of neighborhoods. And they're just like rounding everybody up. So the fact, again, that you have been afforded the opportunity to not be in ICE detention, because even people from Canada, I'm seeing more and more, and they're non-melanated people are being detained in ICE for crossing, and they're not expecting it. So what do you leave for a Black person in America without a green card and a president who has, he's gunning. Okay, he's gunning for all illegal immigrants, illegal migrants. Her situation is really, really dire, real dire. Hey, McQueen, how you doing? Buckhorse, you said beeper on her ankle. Yeah, they put a whole monitor. Buckhorse, you're saying that's like jail. Yeah, it really is. Just house arrest, right? And McQueen, you're saying that's like being a prisoner. Yeah, a prisoner under immigration. Minding my business, you said even Canada has governing immigration. They do. U.S. government got scammers for the scammers. Yeah, the government's stalking her. GPS 24/7. Tabius West, thanks for tuning in. You said I'd rather get deported to Toronto than, oh, wow. Okay. Well, I'll say this. Toronto is not a bad city. So, she obviously was married and is in the United States and wants to stay in the United States. She clearly doesn't want to come back to Toronto. And she's got her reasons. I mean, I love America too. I sure do. So I don't blame her. Oh, wow, Archer. Okay, so you're just not happy. You want her to leave? Elaine Earl, shalom. Thanks so much for tuning in. Out of Eden, 7711. I know prisoners. That's not like prison. She can still move around, work, buy what she wants. Don't get complacent and let your green card expire. If you're really fighting to be with your daughter, indeed, you can't let it expire. And I just wonder sometimes when people allow it to lapse, is it out of fear that maybe it won't get renewed, that you're not willing to allow it to lapse? Maybe that's part of the reason, but the better alternative is to at least go through the right channels, because now you're in a way worse position. So why not take a shot at doing it the right way? Right? Hey, Onidiaki, thanks so much. Yeah, I agree. Be safe in the streets. Joe Curry, Americans have the right to protect itself. Okay, yeah, you do. You sure do. But I mean, I don't think that she's committing any crimes. I think she just didn't allow herself to do the right thing by renewing her green card. And that's the situation she's in now. So, she was married to somebody that's American, so she's not necessarily invading the country. Next tradition. What it is that people break the rules and laws and fight. You're not within the rules and laws. Yeah, you just have to follow the rules. I agree. Thank you, Buckhorse. You're most welcome. McQueen, you said you love to be at home. Yeah, and for her, America is her home. So she just wants to stay there. And her, as you saw in the video, her daughter was born in America, so she wants to stay there. So, minding my business. No, she actually lives in the United States and had her baby in the United States. And when she was traveling, she got intercepted because her green card had expired. And they noticed that. So that's what happened. Tina Ross, thanks so much for tuning in. Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying here. So what, G30, you're saying Europe would be full if they had that? Jerron Moan, thanks so much for tuning in. You said my wife's green card was permanent with no expiration date. She was forced to pay for another permanent resident card because she had hers for over 30 years. The form had changed and she's older now. Yeah, even for me, because I have my American citizenship, but I've had it for decades. And back decades ago, it was so much easier. The process was so much easier. And at the time, my parents were living in the United States, so it just made it easier to get it. It's not like that anymore. It's certainly not like that anymore. Ooh, the times have changed. The times have changed. Layla Brown, you said, what's wrong with home? Well, again, I know people that are from America that live in Canada. They came down either through being married to a Canadian woman or man, and they don't want to go back to America. They love it in Canada. They don't want to go home at all. So for her, it's the flip side. She lives in the United States and was married and had a baby there, and she wants to stay in the United States. Maybe she's got a great career there. Maybe she loves it there. I don't blame her. I love America too. I just happen to live in Canada because that's where my family is and what have you, and my work and all that other stuff. But I love the United States. I spent a lot of time there. So I can understand the appeal. I absolutely love it there. Layla Brown, you said, was Kamala raised in Canada? Well, she went to school in here. She went to school for a little while here. She lived here for a little while. So she was here, and then she ultimately moved to the United States and continued her schooling and all of that stuff there. But yep, she was definitely here for a time. So you're saying America's not her home? Well, it was her home, though, because she's married and had a child there, and she was living there. So it was her home. So Teresa Thompson, you think that this is homogenous measures for an expired card only? Yeah, I don't think she expected that. I don't. But it just goes to show that the lesson here is you have to understand that you are not from that country, and there are rules that you have to follow. Just like people who are fleeing the United States and crossing illegally into Canada, then you end up getting arrested and you're filing for asylum. There's still rules. You can't just show up at the border and not expect to be apprehended. You got to follow the rules. You got to apply for temporary residence or a visitor's visa or any of you got to go through the channels. And then when it runs out or it's close to run out, you have the option to renew it. You have the option to request a hearing so that you can have an immigration hearing to see why you should be able to stay. There are processes, right? So, but when it comes to ICE, they're hardcore. They're hardcore. They're more hardcore than the CBSA, which is the Canada Border Services Agency. 100% more hardcore. So I'm actually not surprised this happened to her. I think she's more surprised than maybe the whole immigration system and government in the United States, right? Tobias West, where's the dad? Well, it sounds like they're divorced. So, maybe that might have been why she was concerned about renewing her green card. Who knows? I wish I could talk to her to find out exactly what were you thinking, sis? Chris, you say that ICE is out of control and it seems to be a part of a gigantic police state powered by Plantier. The government is using immigration as an excuse to build a high-tech prison. Well, some of them really do act like they're police officers, eh? And, we do know about tragedy that's happened with some people ending up unalived under ICE for sure. They're pretty hardcore. They are. If I were her, I would be very grateful she's not in some detention center somewhere. She really should be happy about that. For sure. Not to say that the ankle monitor is great, but it's a better alternative than being in a detention center. People that have come out there and out of there and have described how it is, whew, no thank you. I don't want nothing to do with that. Just follow the rules. Period. Next tradition, you said people come to the United States and have a baby quickly and then think that's going to help. But they register their driver's license, school, and car. But the most important thing they forget about. Yeah, they do it here too. They'll fly here from another country, have their baby here, then their baby's automatically a citizen. Yeah, they do it here too. They sure do. But it sounds to me like this sister actually was living there and wants to live there. I don't think she was trying to just have a baby to stay there. I don't think so. Her marriage didn't work out, but she loves America, it sounds like to me, and she just wants to stay there. Seventh Wards, you said, and another option, the lady find your husband and marries American, you'll be free. Oh, well, in this day and age, I wouldn't roll the dice on that either. I really wouldn't. So Flower K2BS, you said, what is home nowadays? People live in different parts of the world for a longer time and they feel home everywhere. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Hey, Vanessa, how you doing? Thanks so much for tuning in. Yes, exactly, Buckhorse. These are very important documents. Very important. Yep, Roots, not having your paperwork is considered to be a crime. You'll be apprehended. And the same goes trying to come here. You'll be arrested here too. You will. Tobias, you're saying you can't do this in Russia, China, Korea, anywhere. This is facts. You just can't. They have rules. There's rules everywhere. Make sure you understand the rules and get your paperwork together. You just do. Layla, yeah, I know. Everybody says this to me. Family, Layla is saying that I said A. And yeah, that's truly is a Canadian thing. But I tell you what, I never noticed that I say A until an American reminds me. So when I'm talking to my American friends and I'll be like, I know A, and they'll be like, eh? So, and Layla, you just noticed it too. I never even noticed that I'm doing it. I tell you, I didn't notice. Jerron Moore, you said the lady is only going to have to pay a fee to renew the card, then get an appointment to have her picture taken. Hopefully, but usually, like I said, the ankle monitor is usually puts you in the bubble of we're removing you from the country. So, maybe if she attends every immigration hearing and or checks in with immigration as she's supposed to and follows all the rules and her curfew and whatever else she's supposed to do, she might get lucky. And knowing that she has a baby in the United States, maybe, and if she gets a good immigration lawyer, for sure. The reason why we're even talking about this today, and I'm showing this, is just to say, look, on both sides, okay, on both sides, north of the border, south of the border, you just got to follow the rules. You do. And if your stuff is getting ready to expire, do not just let it expire and think that you could just get up and go to work and do everything and not get busted, especially if you're traveling somewhere. When you travel, they run your stuff through. So, I mean, what were you really thinking, right? You got to stay on, like exactly, McQueen. You got to stay on top of business to avoid all of this. Thank you so much, Greta Cooking Up Deliciousness. Thank you. Chris, you're saying Russia, China, and North Korea are not creating the global chaos that creates the immigration, unlike does the USA. Your president made it clear that he wanted to hold the record for the most deportations. So yeah, things are moving along there and things are very stringent. You think that North America seems to be the most lax as far as the law goes? Canada definitely was a lot more, gave a lot more grace for sure. That's why we have over 300,000 asylum seekers in backlog. Okay. So that's to tell you how much grace. McQueen, you said you catch yourself saying that too when you're talking to your neighbor from Canada. Welcome. I know, eh, McQueen? I know. We sure do that, don't we? Oh, my goodness. Exactly. What were you thinking? That's what I'm saying. Layla, you said you always wanted to come to Canada to see a moose. Oh, yeah. Listen, I know that's the going thing right now. And if you come over and check me out at 7 p.m. today on my channel, Emma Ansah News with Purpose, I'm going to be talking about Andrew Tate, who seems to be very obsessed with Canada. And he mentions a moose. It's not really like that. It's not like you go around places and you just see moose popping up. It's really not like that, okay? A lot of people seem to think that, but it's not. Just like everywhere else in the United States, in other parts, you see squirrels, you see raccoons, you see fox, you see coyotes, you see those kinds of things. You see skunks, you see rabbits, you see squirrels, but you don't see moose just randomly walking around. You see deer from time to time. But yeah, the moose are just not out here like that. So yeah, if you wanted to travel here to see some moose, it's not going to happen. You're going to have to really go somewhere rural to see that. Jerome Moore, you said you got to get a passport again. He said yours got taken. Wow. Yeah, get your passport. Get your passport, because it used to be you'd be able to come across without a passport, but now you need your passport. Even us, we need our passport. It used to be we would be able to go with our driver's license, but you need your passport. Just get it. Get a 10-year, passport. Here you have the option of 10 years. So just get it and be good for a decade and all that. Layla Brown, you want maple? Okay, that I can definitely help you out with. The maple syrup here, that's a thing. That's a flex in Canada, and we're known for that. Oh my goodness, that's so funny, you guys. You guys are killing me. Yes, agree, Vanessa. The Grand Canyon. You can see moose out there in the United States. You definitely don't need to come to Canada for that. Anyhow, family, I just wanted to share this with you because I do think it's important for us as Black people, especially with the way, like I said, your president's moving, and then the things that are changing here in Canada as well. If you're trying to come across, just make sure you got your paperwork. If you're living here in Canada or the United States, make sure your paperwork is together. I don't like to see our sisters and brothers being detained in ICE and wearing ankle monitors and all this stuff unnecessarily. It really is. So just do the right thing. That's all I'm saying. Do the right thing and you'll be good. Just follow the processes, right? So McQueen, you said that Canadian maple syrup is what it is. It's true. I'm saying Canada is known for their maple syrup. They are known for their maple syrup. They sure are. You're most welcome, Buckhorse. You said people just like ice because someone in their family or friend they know that is illegal in the country. Wow. Oh, I'm so great, Michael Foster, that you're getting your passport this Friday. So that leads me to what I'm going to say next before I love you and leave you all, which is, to all of you that haven't got your passport yet, make sure you get your passport. You know why? You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to talk about the ADNC Narrative Power Summit, where the team, the ADNC team, is coming to Toronto. And we're all going to get together and have those conversations about Black empowerment and Black media, shaping our narrative. You know what I mean? And we're going to have, key people in the room, all of the really great people in media, in film, business, all of that. And it's all going to be going down here in Toronto on July 25th. So I'm expecting y'all to get your tickets. The link is in the description field of this broadcast, and the tickets are on sale. We have early bird tickets that you can get now, and you have an opportunity to come meet us all. You have an opportunity to take pictures, ask questions, eat some good food, get some good music. Just a real beautiful vibe. And summer here is so gorgeous. The venue is beautiful. I expect people to get your tickets ahead of time, plan your trip ahead of time. I see a lot of Americans here for Caravana. It's only the following week, so you may as well make it an extended time here and come hang out with us. I know a lot of people are buying ticket for World Cup. And those tickets are crazy expensive. So if y'all can be buying tickets for World Cup, you can get a ticket or two and come hang out with us, okay? Just make it a whole beautiful time here in Canada. And I promise you, I know you hear me reporting about a lot of things that go down here in Canada, and they do, but I promise you, you will have a great time if you come here because, yes, we have issues, in our community here in Canada for sure. But visiting as a tourist, it's a beautiful time. Trust me, you will love it. So grab your tickets. Yes, they do have moose up in snow country. It's true. Yes. But like I said, you got to go way rural for those moose. It's not like it's, in any places that are saturated and central. That just doesn't happen. So yeah. Anyhow, yes, maple syrup is delicious, and Canada's maple syrup is delicious. And if you come, I'll make sure there's some maple syrup at the event. If you come to the ADNC Narrative Power Summit, I'll make sure that there's maple syrup. In fact, we'll make sure we put them in your parting gift bags. How about that? So anyhow, family, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for engaging in the chat. To those that have already bought tickets for the ADNC Narrative Power Summit, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. That just tells us that you want to come and meet us. So we appreciate you much. To those who have already got the African Diaspora News Channel app, we appreciate you very much. Thank you so much for getting the app. That's about us being able to have our conversations without any censorship. And we need that, right? We need to have those conversations. It's important. And we need to be able to be free to speak the way we want to. And we do that on the app. So if you haven't already, grab the app. Please make sure to do so. I really appreciate you all. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same channel, equally as important topic. Thank you again. Be safe. Take care.